Hey guys, what's going on? It's Scout with 3 Guns Down as always, and we're looking at another Dominion Infinity Challenge gameplay today. And I want to talk about some topics I didn't get to in the last one, console generations and console cycles and what's coming up and everything like that. But first thing I'm going to talk about is the challenge. I have decided I am going to go for it, completely devote my entire week to it, nothing but this. And I've told my friends, I told my dad, everybody like that, I'm not going to be of any use to anyone for this next week. And what I have figured out, go away Xbox notification. What I have figured out is I can roughly get away with 4 hours of sleep. I've also done the math on it. I figured out the #1 guy who has some 700,000 points. I figured out he's only earning about 70 points an hour in the last 4 weeks. So if I can triple that number for an hour, I'm gonna be golden in terms of going for it. So which is what I'm going to try to do. I also figured out how the score system works and everything like that with some experimentation I did yesterday, and then just saw what it turned over to in the next 24 hours. So I know how the score system works and all the numbers and everything like that. And I figured out my sleep schedule. Like an average person's sleep schedule, the sleep cycle for an average person is an hour and 30 minutes. And it varies between person to person, which is where you go through the 4 stages of sleep. I think there's 4. And I figured out that I figured this out a while ago, but mine is actually roughly an hour and 39 minutes. And there was this, it's a subsonic tone you can download and play it for the whole time you're sleeping. You start playing it right before you go to sleep, you fall asleep with it on, and then you can really only pick it up, your ears, your inner mechanism, your inner ear canal system, God, can only pick it up when you're in stage 1 of sleep or whatever, and your brain becomes alert to it and wakes up at that time. So with all that figured out, yeah, I know I'm definitely gonna go for it now. And anyone else that is, wish you the best of luck too. Like I said, drop a line in the comments below if you plan on going for it. We might team up and play and just keep each other company, which will make it easier to play consistently like that for each other. Now, moving on to what I want to talk about last video that I didn't actually get a chance to, is the next console generation that we're leading into. Now, if you think about it, the Xbox came out in what, 2001? And it had about a 5-year lifespan as a console. The 360 came out 2006. And so it's had about a 6-year span as a console. It's 7 years. No, it's been 7 years because I think it's 7 years now. So it's had a 7-year span as a console. It might be 8 by the time the next Xbox, which I'm assuming is going to be named the 720, is released. So knowing that, the next Xbox generation and everything, I'm really excited for it, but at the same time a little scared, because it's not more scared, it's more like unknown, like what the hell is going to happen, because well, if you think about it, every single console generation that we have a leap up, and you see a massive jump in graphical components. And really, honestly, I think the next step from this console generation to the next new console, whatever it might be, is going to end up being almost virtual reality. Microsoft is talking about not talking about, but there's that project that's supposedly under wraps completely called Dingo or Domingo or something like that, whatever it is. And so, with that being under wraps by Microsoft, if you haven't heard any rumors about it, supposedly it's these 2 panels you mount on your walls, and you wear 3D glasses and you can project 3-dimensional images in your living room. that coincide with the game. So that would be quite an interesting thing to see if they actually can do that and work, because that is kind of like a sub virtual reality. It's almost a virtual reality. I guess it's kind of like the next step into it. You know, I think the step after that would be like Matrix-esque type stuff, without the giant spike in the back of your head, of course. But yeah, so we'll see. Only time's really gonna tell when it comes to this next console generation stuff. It's gonna be interesting. I'm really excited for it. But if you just think about it, the huge technological leap forward we see in terms of rendering and graphics ability and everything like that. I mean, this game, Halo 4 itself, is beautifully rendered. All the graphical component, it's just eye candy. And this is on a 7-year-old system that has half a gig of RAM and a dual-core processor. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong on that. I'm not sure if it has a dual-core processor. I'm like 80% sure, but it might have a quad-core processor. I don't think so, though, considering it's 7 years old, and you know, quad-core processors 7 years ago were kind of expensive. So I don't think they could have sold it for $400 with a quad-core system. That's just my opinion, though. But the next system is going to have a hexa-core processor. It's going to have oh, I don't know. It's going to have 4 gigs of RAM. That's what they're speculating, because the supposed dev kit that they found had 8 gigs RAM, and dev kits usually have more RAM, a higher gigahertz rated processor, because they use development tools on it and everything like that. So if it has that much on it, that's going to be ridiculous, just ridiculous, in terms of production power. So yeah, it's gonna be insane. As beautiful as some things look right now, I really don't know where they could. I mean, obviously, going into more realism, more stylized, bigger rendered environments, you could potentially, with this next system. See, the issue with PCs is part of the reason why PC systems have to be so big and carry so much is because they're running an operating system underneath the game, and they're running any other kind of programs you have running in the background, and background applications and processes and anything like that. So they have to run all that while running the game on top of it. So it takes a lot more from a general PC to be able to do that. With a system like the console, the Xbox 360 console, it's running the dashboard, it's running your Xbox Live connection, maybe a few other background programs for stability, connection, and control. And other than that, that's it. You know, an actual PC is running hundreds of programs, applications, and processes while playing a game. Your 360 is running maybe 12. And then on top of that, when you actually go into the game, it stops most of the processes. The dashboard isn't working, or you know, it's not going at the time. It has the sub dashboard, which is a sub menus system file it can access, which I'm assuming they actually do through module programming. So yeah, there's that. And to think about how much this 360 can do, and the next Xbox is supposedly going to be, I don't know how many times more powerful. If you think about it, I mean, we're going from a dual core to a hexa core. That's 4 times more powerful. You're going from half a gig of RAM to 4 gigs of RAM. That's 8 times more than what we have. And we're actually getting a dedicated graphics card as well. That's a huge step forward in terms of actual processing ability and power. It's ridiculous. And we don't have any specs on the PS4, which is, I don't know. I think that'll be interesting too. I'm not a PlayStation fan, but we'll see about that. So yeah, leave your comments in below. Are you excited for the next console generation, and do you think it's going to live up to all the hype that's out there? And what are you most excited about for the next console generation? Bigger rendered environments, you know, more deeply graphically rendered beasts. Just, you know, what are you excited for? 21 and 8, 5 assists. Not a bad game. But yeah, as I said, drop the comment below. Are you going to go for the Infinity Dominion Challenge? What are you excited about for the next console generation? That's pretty much it, guys. I'm Scout with 3 Guns Down. I'll see you guys later.